People are always asking about the parts of our religious habit. It has several different parts that you put on in a certain order. We say prayers as we put on each part of the habit. Each part symbolizes something like service, prayer, commitment. So I couldn't figure out how to show you the different parts of the habit without having to rent a mannequin or a dress form. And I figured I would just make these little drawings. So here are the parts of the habit in little drawings. The first thing that we put on underneath our habit is our slip. It's a black cotton slip, and it has these huge pockets in it, nun pockets. And they are big enough to put a paperback book in. I carry all kinds of stuff in my nun pockets. We also have purses as well, but when you're walking around the house, we live in a pretty big convent, so it's good to have a lot of your stuff on you. Keep it in your nun pockets. Over the slip, we wear a tunic. And the tunic is a black cotton or black polyester. We wear black polyester in the winter time. This is a very loose, comfortable garment. It has pleats here to make it nice and voluminous. It also has these little slits in the tunic so that you can reach inside and access the pockets in the slip. The back of the tunic is really interesting because it has all these beautiful pleats in the waist. It's a two-part garment in the back. In the front, it's just one long piece, but in the back, it's two parts. You've got your top part here and then a sewn-on waist that has these pleats. The back of the garment is very heavy because it has a lot of fabric. There's also a pleat here to take up some of the fabric in the back. Inside the tunic, there's a satin ribbon that goes around the waist, and you tie it in the front. It's very Victorian. That's so that you hold up all that heavy fabric in the back from all the pleats. So this is the little thing that you tie in a bow in the front. And if you're walking around, sometimes it'll come untied by itself and your habit gets really loose and voluminous. But ideally, it's supposed to cinch up the waist from the inside. On the outside of the tunic, we wear a cincture, which is handmade. Our sisters make these with a crochet needle, and I'll show you what mine looks like. Looks like that right there. This one was made by Sister Suzanne Elizabeth for me right before I was first professed. That's when you first get your cincture. And it has 3 knots in it on both sides. These symbolize the 3 vows. The front of the tunic has snaps. It snaps up. And over everything you wear the scapular, which is just a piece of fabric. It looks the same in the front and the back. It just covers up everything in the front. And this symbolizes service and work. It's like an apron. You can switch it out pretty frequently if it gets messy while you're working. And it has this collar, which is white, so you can't wash it in the washing machine with your black habit. So it's detachable. It's held on with snaps. And getting your collar snaps to match the same exact pattern as your scapular snaps is quite a trick. Trust me on that one. But this is what it looks like all together. We wear a cross, which has a red cord. Red symbolizes the martyrdom of St. John the Baptist, our patron saint. And we wear a silver cross with the Agnus Dei, the Lamb of God, on it. One thing also about the cincture is that since they are crocheted by hand, over the years they get longer and longer because they stretch out. So the longer you've been here, the more you have to knot it up here on your waist in the morning when you're getting dressed. You can tell which sisters have been here a really long time. They've got lots of knots in their cincture because it's stretched over time. So that's the parts of the habit. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of our habits.